Mikado is obviously a little perplexed and disheartened by her abrupt departure, as he didn't see Creepy Teach, but Masaomi is suddenly behind him to distract from the letdown. I really love Masaomi's character in these first dozen or so episodes. He plays the role of the insightful comedic relief so well. As he's talking, he's drawing a heart around Henri and Mikado's names on the classroom chalkboard. And he's basically calling Mikado out for trying to induce a slice of life romance with Henri through joining her as class rep. But he says that Mikado's last push was a little weak, since Henri ran off without a second glance. He warns Mikado that if he doesn't step up his game soon, he'll miss his chance and therefore waste his big move to Tokyo. It honestly feels a little bit like a fourth wall break, which is very funny. But what really gets me laughing is Masaomi's solution to Mikado's problem. He suggests they go hit on girls, and the scene instantly switches over to Masaomi scream flirting. I'm not kidding. Screaming at these poor women who look like nurses, like they have enough to deal with already. And without a word, these nurses stand up and quickly walk away. It's hilarious. As the camera pans over to Mikado, sighing at his friend's attempts, we hear Simon again, continuing his train of thought on the people who flock to the big city. He contemplates how the people who come to the city looking for change may find change difficult to come by, because even though their surroundings have changed, they are still the people they were before they moved, signaling that change is not external, but rather internal, which I want you all to keep in mind. As we move through each episode, take note of how the characters change and develop. What factors actually lead to these transformations? Are they primarily external, or are they internal? Or are they a mix of something in between? As Masaomi tries to flirt with another group of girls, they ignore him completely and begin to gossip about one of their friends who is dating somebody apparently in the dollars. We see Mikado's fascinated face as Simon comes back in and begins to explain what the color gangs are. It's a bit exposition heavy, a moment of telling instead of showing, and it feels a bit unnecessary to me as the context clues and the vocabulary are already pretty explicit on what these gangs are. But hey, this anime is convoluted. What this explanation really does for me is show the audience how different the colorless dollars are. They aren't a classic gang that recruits through friends of a friend in physical meetups. Everything and everyone is anonymous. Recruitment for the gang is done through their website, a web forum with no clear hierarchy. The girls, continuing to ignore Masaomi, begin talking about how the recent slasher incidents are caused by the dollars, which Mikado begins to look uncomfortable about. Is he getting nervous about having moved to a potentially dangerous city with gangs and slashers running around? Maybe.